Hi there, this is Åsa with a new process video. Look at these photos. It's a whole bunch, and I took them during our car trip this summer when we went to Östersund, west in Sweden, and Trondheim in Norway by the Norwegian Atlantic coast. I guess most of Norway is by the Atlantic coast. Anyway, I found the perfect collection to go with Trondheim. And Trondheim, it's like I said, it's a Norwegian town, and it's just lovely. It's so picturesque, and it's so cute, and it's so colorful, and it's totally adorable by the river. The river is called Nidelva, or Nidelva in Norwegian, and it's the whole town is like surrounded by this river, and you have the seafront everywhere, and it's so cute and it's just lovely. And we went for a couple of hours in Trondheim after a long car ride there over the mountain, and everything was beautiful, but the weather, because the weather was just totally lousy. But then we arrived in this beautiful place, and we got a while without rain, and then it started raining, but it was just a light rain, so we could still walk around in the town. And I took some lovely photos despite of the weather, and these 5 photos that I'm working with today are from the riverside while we were going over the bridge towards Bakklandet, which is a part of town in Trondheim. And it's a very nice and just lovely bridge going over the river. It's called I think it's called Gamle, and I took photos there, and also photos towards the other shore. And by the seafront there were just many colorful houses, and these houses fitted perfectly in color with the Bybro boardwalk collection. It's like they were meant to be together. And you see that this striped paper that I pulled off the 6x6 paper pad fits perfectly with those houses. You got yellow, you got green, you got red, and the neutrals, and it's a perfect match. And since it was called the boardwalk, I thought it worked even better. So this will be a page, a double spread, featuring 5 photos and only stuff from the boardwalk collection. On the left side I will have 2 photos of the bridge and my family walking across the bridge, and on the right side I'll have these 3 photos in a row with the seafront photos of the other shore. And First I thought that I would mount this onto this plain white cardstock, but then I changed my mind, and I will do some mixed media treatment to the backside, or watercolor effect on the backside, just because I didn't like the harsh white. So I will later go back and do some watercoloring. Unfortunately I didn't get that on video, but I'm sure that you understand what I did anyway. I bought from the boardwalk collection like a card pack, I think, and the 6x6 paper pad and the ephemera pack. It's called something special, I don't know, but it's the bits and pieces kind of thing from the collection. And in the card pack there were these 2x2 cards, which I love. I love the 2x2 cards. I think they are so easy to work with, and they work both as pattern paper and as embellishment in the same. And that's just great, I think. And I will use these in a row, in 2 rows, and they fit the theme perfectly with the coast and the everything that goes with it. Back to what you see on the screen. Now I have made these packaging watercolor effect on the back, on the white cardstock in greenish kind of teal and a little bit of blue, and that helped this whole page come together. And that background, even though it's very light, I think it brought everything together. And now I'm starting to decide where I'm going to put these 2x2 squares. I have already adhered the striped paper pieces to the photo block and towards the borders of the left page. And I thought perhaps that was a bit premature. I glued them down way too fast for my liking, but I made it work, and I didn't ruin it with watercoloring. But I don't think that I'm the kind of scrapbooker that can glue down pieces that early in the process. but for some kind of reason I did it anyway this time. When I do double page spreads, I like to have elements going over the edge or going over the middle of the 12 by 24 spread. And in this case I will do this by letting the mat, it's a white paper with ship steering wheels, I will have that go over to the right page. And I will also make this tiny striped border go over to the right side as well, but that will be later in the process. Now I'm gluing down the photo block, and the middle piece there is already adhered to the page, and now it's time to just start gluing down everything else. I have chalked the edges or inked the edges of all the small pieces with brown ink, and since there are a lot of neutrals and browns in these cards, I went with the brown and it fit perfectly. I also inked the edges of the paper in the middle, and I think I even remembered to ink the edges of the striped paper. So it will keep everything together, even though it's a collection and everything is supposed to fit. This edge treatment makes the pieces go together even more. I'm using a 4x4 card with the text boardwalk as a bridge between the photo mat there and the rest of the page on the right side. And I'm just continuing gluing down the different squares. I've edited away the rest of that gluing process. Nothing special happened there. Now I was going to write a title, and there will be 2 pieces of titling on this page. Above the boardwalk piece I will write the name of the stream or the river, and I'm using my favorite thicker font. It's the Daiquiri in white, and I'm just spacing out those pieces so that they fit in the middle of that boardwalk card. I thought that the title there looked perfect on top of the boardwalk that was already printed on the card. On the other photo piece on the left page I will write the name of the bridge, Gamle Bybro, and it's pretty much old town bridge. And I decided to keep the local pronunciation or the local spelling on both the stream and the bridge, because they are very similar to the Swedish version, and I thought that fitted perfectly, and I didn't want to change it, even though älv, like stream, in Swedish is spelled with an A with 2 dots over. So, but I wanted to keep it in Norwegian, since I had the opportunity. Now you see that I am making that border strip longer, and so that it goes over to the right side of the layout. And I thought that made a huge difference, because it totally connected the two pages. So that was necessary. I had to cut into a new paper from the paper pack, but it was okay. It made such a huge difference, so it was totally worth it, even though I had to just cut a sliver of that new paper. Now I'm taking out that ephemera pack. It's called Bobani Know the Wordy, and it's the ephemera and the bits and pieces. And I try to find stuff that I can use in the small gaps on this page. I found a crab, and also a round piece there that kind of, it's got a, what shall I call it, a view over the sea in a circle. And then I try to find other bits and pieces to just fill in the blank spaces. Also the blank parts of the photos. As you can see, I'm placing the banners there, because the sky wasn't blue, it was grayish white due to the rainfall, and that's not a very nice sky, so I wanted to kind of hide it in as many spots as possible. I'm really disappointed about the weather this summer, and during our road trip to Östersund and Trondheim, we had just the worst weather, and I wanted to take a lot of photos, and I did. I took a lot of photos, but I wish that we had sunshine, because the blue sky makes everything much prettier. But it gives me reason to go back, because these were really nice places, and I want to go there again and explore more in better weather. So now I'm just hiding that boring sky there under a couple of banners. I think that banners give a nautical kind of feel to pretty much everything. So these banners fit the environment here perfectly, I think. And since they are also part of the collection, it went perfect with the small cards that I already had used. I found a couple of stars. They're kind of the compass version of stars, and I also found a couple of starfish die cuts that I will be using on this page. Starfishes aren't normally the thing that we have in the Baltic Sea where I live, but by the Atlantic coast I guess they are more common. Here are some close-ups of the finished pages, and I hope that you enjoyed this process and my story about the photos. And it's a double page, which isn't that common these days, but I love making them when I have a lot of photos, and when I have this a collection that I really want to use to the fullest. So it was a fun project, and I'm very pleased with the fit of these papers and the houses by the Nidelva. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon here in my channel again. Take care. This is Åsa. Bye.